The true art of customization is being able to take virtually any vehicle and making it something unique and special. Even more substantial is being able to take something that someone gave up on and bringing it back to life. Paul Wasserman of Conroe, Texas runs a business called Wasserman Motorsports, which specializes in car and truck customization. Obviously, his knowledge is exponential. Paul's friends David Bryant and Jim Dozier had a 1996 Chevy Tahoe sitting in a warehouse used to paint golf carts, but they decided it was time to make more room for their business. They offered the deserted truck to Paul for a very low price, knowing that he was the one person with the capability to bring her back from the dead. Paul already knew the history behind the Chevy. Bill Carlton from Ekstensive started building the Tahoe years back, and then it changed hands for several years before landing in a storage bay. Unfortunately, the windows had been left down during its stay in the paint facility, and overspray was seemingly everywhere inside and out. The engine was seized due to its years of sitting, so Paul and his father Robert went straight to work flushing the gas lines and rebuilding the carburetor. A new fuel pump and battery were added, which helped get the Tahoe fired up. The next step was getting the air ride system working again, and the Wassermans did just that. The front suspension was completely falling out, and every bag had holes in it. After every piece was replaced, the Tahoe was able to be brought up off the ground. For safety, the entire brake system had to be reworked and the spindles had to be redrilled. With the Tahoe ready to move, Paul's focus turned to its aesthetics. Paul's father Robert completely gutted the interior, removing everything inside the cabin. With nothing seeming to work, each piece was dissected and corrected, including the gauges and all electronics. The console and panels had to be fixed, and the paint overspray was removed. While Robert was tackling the interior, Paul brought the truck to Lake Charles, Louisiana, to have Briley's paint and body correct the paint that Patrick Reid from Mad Concepts had originally perfected. The entire Tahoe was disassembled, and each panel was brought back to life. Once the paint and body were looking like new, Robert and Paul began the reassembly process. The interior was put back together with working electronics and clean suede upholstery. A full JL audio stereo setup with a Kenwood head unit at the helm was mounted inside the Tahoe. The final step was pulling the wheels off and hand polishing them. With the help of Jane from NTB, the Bonspeed wheels were then wrapped in Nitto tires, making them ready for the road once again. Paul wishes to thank David Bryant and Jim Dozier for seeing the potential and talents that he and his father had for saving the Tahoe. Wasserman Motorsports was started when Paul was only 17 years old, when he brought his El Camino to Autorama. His father told the staff he was with Wasserman Motorsports just to get a better parking spot. The name stuck, and Paul and Robert have actually grown a business from that moment. BodySlammed was rebuilt with family values intact and a strong support system in place. Paul said, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always having my side in everything we do, and my wife, Becky, for the time and money spent. She supports all my crazy ideas and hobbies. Thanks to my youngest daughter, Addison Wasserman, my oldest daughter, Danielle, and her husband, Sam Posis, as they always get roped into the chaos at the shows or on the racetrack, and Phil Gordon for making me famous."